Often when you think of the aesthetic of Sonic, you'll have a very mixed answer depending on the era people are familiar with. Sonic's style has changed a lot, and not just with its gameplay style, but how Sonic is depicted. The kind of colors used, if they have large heavy strokes or just 3D models. When I was younger, the eras were very much divided into the classic era, the Dreamcast/Adventure/Green Eyes era, then the modern era. That was established in the 2010s by Sega themselves, but that was the 2010s. We are in 2026, so saying modern Sonic has been modern Sonic for over a decade isn't exactly accurate. I actually haven't been too into the Sonic community for a while, so I actually searched up what Sega and or the fans have described it. The meta era, the postmodern era, dark ages, fuck, you can use any title. I'm not exactly sure how serious some people will take it though. We seem to be in the modern era for like forever. But with each era came their own form of style, something to differentiate itself from the others. Not just a model or anything like that, but something more ingrained that naturally just made you say, yeah, that's definitely a part of the adventure era. Artwork used to promote the series, character voice acting, the in-game music. I'm not exactly here to argue what game belongs in which era, but I'm just saying they all got certain characteristics that you can group them in. I've been trying to get back into Sonic recently. I really missed the Blue Blur, as he served as a very big part of my life in the 2010s. Somewhere across the internet archive, you can probably even find an old 2016 Sonic video I made about Sonic fan games, but who knows for sure. A couple weeks ago, I streamed Sonic Adventure just for fun, and guess what? It was really good. Super good that I was like, wow, I love Sonic. One of my friends, Secret Sauce, was watching the stream and decided it'd be an amazing idea to mod Sonic Adventure to personalize it just for me. Dream with You is better though, sorry, Dream with You is better. Unfortunately, Dream with You. What the fuck? But either way, all of it got me nostalgic thinking about Sonic and the memories I had with him. My YouTube video essay career really hit off with Sonic, so I was like, damn, I want to make a Sonic video. And I already knew what I want to talk about. If there's one thing that encapsulates the era of Sonic I know I'm best for, it's the vocal tracks. Starting from Sonic Adventure, or Sonic CD if you want to play that card, vocal tracks have begun to have a very strong presence in the series. Crush 40 had their start here, but more importantly, every single character had their own vocal track that encapsulated who they were and what their style was like. Yeah, we still have vocal tracks today, and they're awesome, but they're kind of rare now and aren't common anymore. The Dreamcast era, aka the one I associate Sonic with the most, was one filled with multiple playable characters, and as a result of ensuring each of them got some meaningful attention, the developers thought of giving everyone their own song. And being honest, it completely worked. Music is a very strong tool for memory, and oftentimes we associate memories with music. These songs served as some of my strongest core memories of the series. When I first listened to them, I thought some of these were cringe as fuck. What do you mean you named your song Team Chaotix and had that shit being said every 10 seconds? Who wrote these lyrics? But as the years went by, I grew up and actually realized these are peak and not only serve as an analysis on the characters, but also they're really good songs. So for this video, I want to spend some time talking about Sonic's vocal tracks, giving my top tier analysis on them, and explaining what kind of memories I have with them. This will only go through Sonic Adventure to Sonic 06, aka the Dreamcast era, even though, Sonic 06 is the start of the modern era, but I still consider it part of the Dreamcast era because, similar gameplay styles type shit. Later games would kind of remove the multiple individual character vocal tracks because everyone died due to Sega mandates or some shit like that. This doesn't mean later vocal tracks are bad, by the way, unless Possibility is still the best. This video will not be professional for the record. I will literally just be praising these songs because if I'm gonna get back into Sonic, I want to be in familiar territory before I start approaching, the new stuff. And the best thing about Sonic's songs in specific is that they're actually kind of lenient on the copyright claims. Obviously, I won't show the entire song, but I can actually show around 10 seconds before I get shot Yakuza style. Wow, thank you, Sega. When it came to Sonic's first adventure in 3D, having an appropriate theme for the Blue Blur himself was as important as the game being good. It Doesn't Matter serves as Sonic's theme in both Adventure 1 and 2, but I will be judging them separately for reasons you'll probably know. This song is quite literally perfect for Sonic's character, from the way the song sounds to the lyrics especially. The song is very rock heavy, while also being pretty slow paced, really allowing you to take in the lyrics. A lot of these songs are implied to be in the minds of the characters we play as, and for this song in specific, you can really feel it. Sonic as a character is someone who lives his own way. I've always interpreted him as a nomad, someone who goes with the wind and never really lets things get to him while also wanting to do good. The type of character who will save you as he passes by, and before you can say thank you, he's already gone. He doesn't need a reason, he's just living his way. One of the best parts about Sonic's character to me was always his laid-back carefree attitude. He obviously knows when to take shit seriously, but I've always found his ideals to be inspirational. To not let things hold you back. That's not the past that should hold you back, and you should just focus on the present, or right now. It doesn't matter, both the song title and lyrics fit him to a T because, yeah, it doesn't matter what happens right now because he's still going to be him. The aura, bro. Hearing this song for the first time confused me at first, but over time, the lyrics have a lot more importance to me as time goes by. Life may be hard and it may sometimes bomb rush you, but it doesn't matter. You can still keep living by your own rules and ideals, and I think songs representing an aspect of that is enough to keep me and a lot of people still going in life. Although we probably won't be as fast as him, that's for sure. Tails' theme in Sonic Adventure used to make me cry when listening to it. I didn't know how to segment that smoothly into the video, but fuck man, this song always gets me in my feeling. For those that don't know, the song takes place in Tails' perspective as he attempts to become independent and not depend on others like Sonic, with some of the lyrics even referencing him. This song is just emotional, and even feels like it goes off the melody just to express the desire Tails has to be strong. This song is about finding yourself, and a yearning to be something more even if you have no direction. Tails himself finds it difficult on what path to follow, as he knows if he tries to directly follow in the footsteps of his own idol, he'll never become himself. The wording of flight and flying to heaven is Tails finding himself physically and mentally, and we get to see in real time what makes him special, such as being able to do things that others can't, such as his tech skills. I think what got me the most with the song is how it has this somber tone with the beginning of certain phrases. The song literally begins with Tails in his chair thinking to himself, wishing they could be more. Then he thinks when he's in bed, yearning they could be more like his idols. Then in his sleep, he dreams of having the same adventure Sonic has. It's all just aspirations, what he wants to be and what he isn't right now, and that hurts, man. Anyone who's insecure of who they are or just wishes they can be more, I'm sure this song resonates with you heavily. Justice for Miles, bro. When it comes to Knuckles' theme in Sonic Adventure, he might have the most iconic track in the game. You may not have even touched this game, but you probably know this track. This song is probably the most direct Sonic song so far. With It Doesn't Matter and Believe in Myself, you could almost get away with passing it as a regular song, but this one literally starts with, "You can call me Knuckles, unlike Sonic I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles." This song is fucking hilarious, and most of it comes from the lyrics and how it's obviously in the perspective of Knuckles, he views himself higher than he actually is. He in fact does chuckle, and he in fact does believe in others, which caused a lot of applause. If there's one thing I appreciate about the song, it's that we get a lot more depth with Knuckles. Growing up as a loner, being born with a single mission, and having to convince himself he's the strongest to endure any hardships that could potentially compromise his meaning in life. It comes off as a little insecure, especially when he rejects anyone else's help, and it definitely shows his stubbornness, which is a part of Knuckles I always really like. I do have to address the elephant in the room, which is why this song is so iconic. The lyrics are fucking insane, we know that, but not only that, the genre was a surprise as well. I'll admit when I was younger, when I heard the song, it felt out of place, and apparently many others felt the same. But looking at Sonic's history, it shouldn't be too surprising considering the amount of inspiration Sonic has had in Black culture. It's something that isn't just present in the past in this era, but would also have some further inspiration in the years to come. The genre of rap combined with the cheesy lyrics contributed a lot of the reputation towards the song, and God, it makes for a fun listen. And I do gotta mention Triple Q's version of the song. Almost 10 years ago, Triple Q made a rip of the song, converting it into a Knuckles fest, that's all I'll say. I'll leave a link here just so you can experience it. Shouts to Silver Gunner, this rip quite literally add 100% claims with the fact that Knuckles is just mocking each Kino confirmed. With the buff chest, out the wilderness. When I first heard this song, I was flabbergasted. What the fuck was I hearing, bro? With Amy making her reappearance after Sonic's CD with a new design, I guess the developers really want to make a song to encapsulate this new version of her. And what we have here is a peak song, actually. This jazzy track is essentially Amy confessing her very sweet passion towards Sonic. It is both funny, creepy, and also wholesome, depending on how you view it. The chorus definitely saves this song though. It's both catchy, and also the lyrics are absolutely insane. I don't have much to say about the song because it is such a guilty pleasure due to me not wanting to say some of these lyrics out loud. But in terms of the song being in Amy's perspective, I'd say it's pretty accurate if only taking into account Sonic Adventure. The instrumental is really good as well, and Loki carries the song. This isn't the last time we'll hear a love song like this, so all I can say right now is that Amy's reputation is, interesting to say the least. I fucking hate Big the Cat, but also I really love Lazy Days. This is a smooth rock piece that is all about feeling the summertime and living in paradise. If there's one song I think you could just play on the radio and no one would notice, I think this one would be the perfect fit. This song is just really peaceful, it's upbeat, and quite literally has no references to Sonic, which contributes to this just being a song. My favorite part has to be the big guy, little guy bit. It's probably the most iconic part of the song.
Hey big guy, hey little guy, can you tell me who came first? Sorry, but I don't know, we are simply natural.
There isn't much more to say about the song, it's just really good, and unfortunately doesn't have any funny bits I can really say about it. Out of all characters, B gets the most normal ass song that is just good, and can be put on any playlist without being off. This seems like a contradiction, bro. And that's all the vocal tracks in Sonic Adventure. Minus Crush 40. Yes, Open Your Heart is good, but we're focusing on the individual character solo vocal tracks. Now, why wasn't the video called that? It's a very long title and I doubt you click on it. Sonic Adventure had a very great start to the vocal tracks, giving each of them a song that analyzed the characters and how they thought of themselves, for better or for worse. It's a very interesting way to investigate a character, and something that I think music has a very strong ability to do. And that investigation will continue into Sonic Adventure 2, where we would get a few more vocal tracks going in depth to both existing and new characters. Now for Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, their themes are pretty much the same. The only thing that has changed is the tempo of the song, the genre of the song, and some slight lyrics, but for the most part, these songs are unchanged. So for Sonic, it's still It Doesn't Matter, and still being the blue blur he always is.
It doesn't matter now what happens, I will never give up the fight.
This version of It Doesn't Matter is a lot more fast-paced and upbeat, and being honest, I think I like this version more than Sonic Adventure 1. It's not just because it's fast-paced, but I think it fits Sonic more here. In Sonic Adventure 1, the vibe of that game is a lot more chill. You can take your time, explore the hub world, it feels low stakes even though there is danger. Here though, the plot is ever going. There are no hub worlds. It's stage after stage, with event after event, making everything fast-paced and tension-filled. This song encapsulates that. Sonic Adventure 1's version is chill, as if Sonic is singing the song after the adventure is over. It even has Sonic chilling at the beach at the end of its adventure. This version is in the perspective of Sonic who's going through the adventure as it's happening. It puts more emphasis on the lyrics that he stays true to, as he's currently going through the hard moments that could test his ideals and mindset. Sonic is always on some bullshit, so I think this version fits in more when he's already going on such adventure instead of after the adventure is over. This is a very cool remix of the song that fits Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic's current character. It's almost like they put thought into this song, oh my goodness. Believe in Myself version 2 follows the same philosophy that I described with the second version of It Doesn't Matter. The first version of the song comes off as Tails singing to himself as he's actually in bed sleeping, yearning for this dream that he eventually will reach. This new version, however, is almost like he's remembering when he was singing that song. It's almost like he's singing it in a more positive manner, reflecting on the person he used to be. With Tails in Sonic Adventure 2, he's pretty independent and doesn't constantly compare himself to Sonic. He's already has arc, and I think this song encapsulates that. I'm so proud of my little boy Tails, man. Unknown for me in Sonic Adventure 2 is admittedly a lot more different than Sonic Adventure 1, from the arrangement to some of the lyrics. I think out of all the remixes, this one was changed the most, and I think the meaning of the song has changed as well. A lot more lyrics have been spliced with the original version, and while some people may interpret it as just adding lyrics to fill the song, I think, just like the other new versions, this matches this current version of Knuckles. Knuckles has just lost the Master Emerald again, and is dealing with an active threat with Rouge attempting to reach the pieces before he can. This is a bigger threat than he's dealt with before, and also the most annoying threat he's had, so he has a lot to deal with. He pretty much starts alone before he randomly, and I really mean randomly, gets inserted into the plot out of nowhere. With the mindset of Knuckles really doing his own thing, the song makes more sense without its thoughts and the lyrics keep getting spliced back and forth. He's lonely, either because he chooses to be, or because that's who he is growing up and he's unable to break out of it. And it's like the song is fighting with him to decide his ideals and his motivations. The tone is so different from Adventure 1. Adventure 1 was more egocentric, he was confident in who he was, but this version is him almost doubting what he says. Lyrics like "How wild and hungry ain't a damn thing funny, my philosophy's my knuckle and feet" do a very good job at showing desperation Knuckles has and how he sticks to his ideal, what he was born with, to keep him afloat and on the right path. It's a very amazing concept of taking an existing song and doing slight changes that completely affect the way you view it. Just goes to show how the characters have evolved since then. With the introduction of the new character of Shadow, a new theme had to be made to reflect the cooler Hedgehog. Now to be frank, this is the first song I unironically do not fuck with. I think the beginning part is cool and the most iconic, but I think the rest of the song pales in comparison. This might just be the first genre I don't enjoy, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna knock points off for it though. Just because it isn't for me, doesn't mean I'm gonna say anyone who likes the song has bad taste or anything like that. But that also means I don't have much to say about the song. I can say it fits Shadow though. Hey man, this is my video.
Throw it all away. No one can break you, nobody can tear you. You live an endless life forever.
Eggman's theme this time in SA2 is much more ego-heavy than it was in SA1. Oh yeah, Eggman technically did have a theme in SA1, but it was an instrumental piece. Here is an actual song, and a good one at that. Similar to Unknown from Me, it is a very blatant Sonic song, as most of the lyrics are referencing the Sonic series, and a lot of it is repetitive, but it works out because of who Eggman is. The lyrics aren't too complex because Eggman, you should know who he is, but I won't lie, a lot of lyrics are written really well.
The story begins with who's gonna win, knowing the danger that lies within.
This song doesn't have much to go off of, but it's a nice listen to when you want to do things to the moon.
I am the Eggman. That's what I am. I am the Eggman. I got the master plan. I am the Eggman.
As the next new character in Adventure 2, Rouge gets introduced in probably the most elegant way imaginable, aka the best song in the game. This is probably one of the most beautiful songs in Sonic's discography. Its jazzy arrangement perfectly fits Rouge and her character. Sneaky as a bat, eyes on the prize, she's similar to Sonic in a lot of ways, set on her ideals and doing things her way. It's something she genuinely enjoys, the adventure, the thrill, and of course, the treasure. The espionage spy / James Bond-esque theme is so perfect that I feel like you could slide it in any one of those spy movies and it would not be out of place in the slightest. Now, Sonic Adventure 2 is the last one to have this large amount of cast with individual songs. Not that it doesn't exist anymore, but we won't ever reach this kind of number ever again, most likely because Sonic games don't really do that anymore. It doesn't mean these songs are gone entirely, and with Sonic Heroes, we get to see a new version of these character songs. Ones that don't encapsulate just one member, but 3 instead. Sonic Heroes split our characters into groups of 3, and we now get a song that encapsulates them all, starting with... This song is cringy as fuck, but like, that's the point. I know that's subjective, but I can only listen to the song myself. Having a song telling you it's gonna be alright and it's better to be with friends than alone is good on paper, but god, sometimes I get secondhand embarrassment low-key. I can't be too upset with this song though, but if I were to give one critique, I feel like the themes and messages have been simplified. Like, it's pretty bare bones and shows the slight issue of making a song that encapsulates 3 people in a group instead of 1 individually. We don't get that in-depth look into a character's mindset, and instead, we're all together guys, with only general info. We've had songs telling us we can do it in a much better presented fashion in my eyes. It's also really blatant with the song references, which can be a positive or a negative depending on what you're looking for, but lyrics describing what Sonic can do or what Tails can do is, I don't know, it's a bit too much of me. We could do some bad wordplay. Probably my least favorite Sonic Hero song for being real. This machine serves as the theme of Team Dark, consisting of Shadow, Rouge, and Omega, and this song is really fucking good. I know this song is in the same genre as Throw It All Away, but I don't know, something about this is something I can vibe with. One thing I really enjoy about this song is the amount of focus each character gets. I thought it would have the same issue as Team Sonic, but no, we get pretty good lyrics detailing all the characters. Shadow's amnesia, Rouge's untrustworthy nature, and Omega's revenge, all culminating into a found theme that leads them to an everlasting cycle of dancing and fire, being trapped in a machine that never seems to end. Team Dark is really the team that has the most plot-relevant stuff in Heroes, so it makes sense their tones are a lot more grim compared to other groups. Not that that's a bad thing, there has always been whiplash in Sonic music, go back to when I was talking about Sonic Adventure, but the diversity allows these new aspects to shine way more.
A tragic mystery.
Alright, yeah, I love the song. It's cheesy and lovey like My Sweet Passion, but I can actually sing this song with no repercussions whatsoever. There is so much good wordplay here that's just a perfect love song in general. Using the moon and sky and then the movie scene to illustrate just how much you love them is so good. It's a very general love song, and there's only a few lines that seem Amy focused, although you can make a case for it being about Big the Cat and Froggy. I don't want to think about that right now. I'm a sucker for love songs. There are endless amounts of ways to show how much you love someone, and I think a song like this is perfect for Team Rose and their lighthearted nature. I will karaoke this one day.
Follow me inside, outside, through the stratosphere. The moon is shining for you. Knows that I adore you.
This is probably the second best song for Sonic Heroes. Its lyrics are slightly corny, but the instrumental carries it because it thinks it's the most hardest, most serious song ever. And it is. The song takes place in the perspective of Team Chaotix and how cool they are and how the best detective agency. Like Follow Me, this song has some really good wordplay and a ton of lyrics are addicting to sing. This song is a threat, a warning to anyone who listens to it that Team Chaotix will kick their ass if they even think of crossing them. For the right price, of course. Alright, Sonic Heroes is done. It's a very small song list, but still very strong and diversified. It is starting to die out though, as characters get grouped together and soon enough, cut out entirely, as the games will focus on one character or only a very small group. First example, Shadow the Hedgehog. Now Shadow the Hedgehog is a very unique case, as there are many vocal tracks, but most are only focused on Shadow or just general. I guess they're individual songs by that count, but it doesn't feel right when the main video has been about how the song's been made from multiple characters. I know we have All Hell Shadow, but I low-key want to focus on 06's version for that part. I'm kind of bending my rules for this mostly because I want to cut this video at some point, so all I'll say is, Never Turn Back is the best fucking track in the game.
It's been a long, rough road, and I'm finally here. I'm moving an inch forward, it feels like a year. Everything I feel seems so unreal as it's true.
Sonic 06 is turning 20 this year, and that's something I have to really think about. I was born 1 year before Sonic 06 came out, and growing up in the Sonic fanbase showed me just how despised this game was. And when I was 11 years old, and when Sonic 06 turned 10, I actually made my own YouTube review on it just to see if it was truly bad as people said. And was it? And the music is pretty good, let's just focus on that. Sonic 06's soundtrack is one of the very best. Wave Ocean is the biggest highlight of the entire game. It's just the soundtrack mixes so many styles so well that creates a very nostalgic feeling while just being really good in general. And this also applies to the vocal themes, the 3 playable characters, Sonic, Shadow, and Silver. This is probably the theme that encapsulates 06 the most. And I've said encapsulate a whole lot this video, but trust me, it's real this time. His world serves as a perfect evolution of It Doesn't Matter in a much more high-paced energy. Sonic's mindset is no longer just his ideals and vision, it's his world, and he's inviting you to join it. Play this while you're working, and your motivation factor will genuinely go up by like 60%. This is one of those songs where you feel like Sonic, and yes, I mean it in that exact way.
Putting on a show, don't wanna get yourself together, there's no time to rest. And if you put the time in, he'll put you to the test. He's like a running man, in his world war is less.
All Hell Shadow is perfect. Crush 40 did an amazing job with this remix. I won't give him all the credit as the original is still really well done, but everything about the song is good. The arrangement, the lyrics especially, as they focus on Shadow's ideals and how he finds his meaning in life. It's all sung in such high regard of Shadow's nonchalantness, but also his ego. Shadow in 06 has always been one of my favorite versions of him. He's gone through his arc, he knows what he is, he gets shit done and helps others get shit done as well. He's someone who finally knows what he is now and takes pride in that, and some of these lyrics represent that. This is a really good song, I miss Shadow.
No close will bring you down. There's nothing left to lose. You win.
I don't talk about it often, but Silver is my favorite character in the Sonic franchise. He's naive, low-key stupid, but has a heart of determination and passion to save his world. He's a character burdened by his environment, and even though he often makes mistakes, you can see that he just wants everything to be alright, to fix the past to ensure a better future.
In the nightlight, do you see what you dream? All your troubles are they or what they seem? Look around you, then you may realize all the creatures are with their lives.
The song is so dreamy, reflecting a version of Silver who likely thinks of this song every night he's in the future. He doesn't believe in direct faith. He's gone through so much hell that he knows that what needs to be done is direct action of choice. The song is singing to someone, saying that in order for change to be done, they have to make a decision that they want to change it. And if they do want change, then he'll do everything in his power to make it so. But even though he will be putting everything into it, there's a chance nothing will change, and it will just remain as a dream of an absolution. You can interpret it as him singing to Blaze, which I ship, or Sonic, or just himself in some figurative way, as he tries to make people believe in a better future, but either way it fits his character really well. I always liked Silver being thrust into a position he never wanted to be in. He was destined to be a dreamer, a lover, a carefree one at that, but now all he has is dreams, in a world where none of it seems to exist or matter anymore. He's such a tragic character, and I've always admired his resolution to always do the right thing, even though that leads him to do naive things in pursuit of it. He's on the same level as Knuckles in terms of being fooled, but he isn't egotistical to not admit it. He questions things, but sometimes just doesn't have the knowledge because he grew up in a destroyed world, and because of that, he often kind of sucks at socializing and can be manipulated easily. I don't know when this became a Silver video, but anyway, this song perfectly fits him as a dreamer. Get this man some peace and quiet. But that's the end of the era I know Sonic for the most. We still have playable characters and we still have vocal tracks, but something about this era and diversity kind of seems lost. Both in part because the games are different now, and I don't know, everything seems more consistent now. Art styles, models, it doesn't really seem like much has changed. But who's to say? I haven't been in the game for a while now, I've been busy doing other stuff. It was nice to talk about Sonic again though. Infinite Song is peak though, that was way in the modern era, but when that song dropped, it was genuinely peak. I don't care what anyone says about it. Damn, I have a lot of plushies. Anyways, if you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and also follow me on Twitch, where I am still attempting to play all the Sonic games before, like, I don't know, Persona 4 Revival comes out, and I can stream that instead. And if you do want to support the channel, I do have memberships for exclusive videos and content, and also exclusive polls, like, you know, future videos and stuff like that. I do want to actually get back into Sonic, though, so I might actually start reading the comics, and, you know, maybe I might play Frontiers, I'm not too sure, I might continue it, yeah. One go.